we talked with the Rural Water Users Association several years ago, talking about what we can do, working with them to kind of help people understand water rights in the state. And this was the result of that discussion, of trying to pull a group together to have some training here, to talk about water right issues, and to kind of get people up to speed about the things that we do to administer water in the state. Water is such a critical resource in the state for allowing us to meet future growth demands, to just do all of our future planning. We just got to have water. We got to be able to use it wisely. We've got to be able to do those things that we need to do to help meet our growing needs in the state. I've had the opportunity to serve with the governor's water strategy force for the past few years. We've been working on a plan to meet our water needs in the year 2060, which they're planning on the state doubling by that time. And what are we going to do? The easy solution was, well, let's just double the amount of water we have. Well, that doesn't work very well, right? Unless we get a lot of mid-80s storms coming in. And I've asked the legislature to pass a law to require those kinds of storms to keep coming in. Yeah, I mean, they've done other things like set levels for Great Salt Lake and done things, where that has to be. And it's like, if they can do that, they can tell how much rainfall. It doesn't seem to work. That doesn't seem to follow what their directives are. But anyway, we're dealing with a limited resource, and we're looking at more variations coming in the future. It looks like the scientists are projecting we may not have less water, but we may have water coming at different times. Maybe not as much snowfall, and maybe more rainfall. We got to figure out how to deal with all of that. But we have a set of rules and regulations in the state that I think are very good under the prior appropriation doctrine, okay, that you're going to learn about here for the next 2 days. Just some of the things, how we regulate water. And somebody says, well, our water system isn't going to work when we start getting into more varied climates. And my reaction to that is we've always had varied climates, and it's always worked. First in time is first in right, and we can make it work to meet our future demands, but we need to be aware of it, and a lot of people just aren't aware. So as we talked about it, what can we do? Let's try to get the word out about how we administer water in the state. I walk around a lot with this little book right here that we put together in our division. It's just the water laws in the state of Utah, and everything that we do in the Division of Water Rights is by code, okay? Code or rule that we have, and you're going to learn about some of those codes and some of those directions that we have here for the next couple of days, and some of the rules that we have to regulate what we do. Some people have defined what we do as it's like in a little black box, and you have to have a decoder ring to be able to figure out water rights and how to get through it. It's not that difficult, okay? And it's all laid out in the statute. The courts try to interpret statute, and if you've dealt with statutes, you know that they aren't always as clear as what the legislators think they were when they wrote them. And so the courts have gone through and determined things, and it leads us each year to looking at amendments to the statute. I think this year we probably had 7 or 8 bills that went through to tweak the statutes a little bit to help us administer a little bit better. And it's a helpful process, and we have water user groups that are putting input to kind of help give direction. So some changes. So if some of you took the class last year, you're going to hear some things this year that are just a little bit different. They got changed a little bit, but the basics are all the same. Okay. Vern mentioned my name is Kent Jones, and I am in a position called the state engineer position. Okay. That position is appointed by the governor to be in charge of the water regulation of the state, and it's a 4-year appointment, and they did it that way, and we're not directed by a board, okay, in the state. So the state engineer and the state engineer's staff are the ones who regulate water in the state, and our purpose is to regulate, we appropriate, we administer, we distribute, and we apportion the waters of the state, and we have that responsibility to do that for the governor. So I have a job for 4 years, and After that, it has to be reappointed again. So they look at it again, and it has to have a Senate confirmation. So there's some steps that go through in order to serve in this position. It's been a fun job. I've been here since in the position since 2009. I've actually been with the division for a little over 36 years. And it's been a fun career learning about this and learning how to administer water. So, and I appreciate working with the water community people. They're just a bunch of great people who are thinking about things that we need to do to meet future needs and demands. And I think part of us being able to do that is understanding the laws that we're going to be functioning under and learning how to work within those laws and how to tweak those laws to help us be able to do what we need to do. So these next couple of days, you're going to be spending some time learning about the things that we do, what the law requires, and you're going to have an opportunity to pull that knowledge back out if you're going to be taking the test to get certified. One thing I wanted to bring up too, this certification is a certification that you're going to be, that says that you have taken this course and that you've passed this course successfully. It's not going to get you a professional engineering license to do water rights. It's not going to make you a titled professional who can do things or an attorney. But it will give you that certification, which is a nice statement to say that you have gone through this training, you've exhibited a certain level, and I think as employers or others that you're working with, I think it's just a wise thing to have you go through this process and get certified so that you know what the water rights are, and you can say, yes, I know that. And then as soon as you say you know that, then we're going to change the laws, and you're going to have to get recertified again, okay? It's a gimmick. We've got you here, right? Because I change it every year. You got to keep going back. But again, most of these things are going to stay the same, but there are little tweaks that happen each year. But anyway, I'm appreciative of your interest in learning about this. I think the more we can get the word out to the general public and the professionals working in this industry about what we are required to do to regulate, you're going to think it's not quite as mystical as some people think it is. And so with that, we've got different presenters. I don't know if there's going to be an MC person, James or Vern. Is somebody going to introduce the speakers? Or okay, so there's like an order to go through, and the word I'm getting is sit down and let it get started. Okay, thank you very much for being here.